Hey, welcome to this edition of Turnaround Marriage Live. We're here to dive in with you about a really interesting subject. And it's something for probably a good 20 years of our marriage I didn't even get. And that was the understanding of what is your spouse thinking when you guys are disconnected or when those hurts have built up. And you've wondered literally oftentimes, what are they thinking? And that's exactly what we want to dive into today. So if you've ever been in that place where you did not understand why your spouse wasn't getting it, or what's going on in their heart and mind right now when you have that disconnect, this is exactly the place you need to be today.
Absolutely. Isn't he adorable? I just love him. We are Scott and Rachel. We help devoted
Today
and committed. We help devoted and committed Christian couples finally end cycles of conflict and disconnection and reclaim the love, passion, and playfulness that they once had. So if you're watching us on Facebook, please give us a thumbs up and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the bell and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. We are here to encourage your Christian marriage and to strengthen it. We know the pain of a disconnected marriage. We lived there for way too long. And so, we're going to dive in with what is your spouse thinking when your hearts disconnect? And we're here to tell you when hearts begin to disconnect, this is a danger zone and a warning zone that so many couples ignore. And frankly, when hurts start to build up and when hearts start drifting apart, that's when the enemy of your soul will come in and he does a full-on frontal attack and a sneak attack, and your marriage is in big time danger. But it's like men and women process the disconnection very differently often. Right. And so we wanted to talk about kind of what is he thinking? What is she thinking?
Yeah. And so obviously there's conflict is inevitable in marriage. And some couples say, well, we don't ever have any conflict. That means because they don't talk about the things that they have conflict about.
That means they have no intimacy either.
And that also, yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's important that we understand that men and women are wired differently, and we do think and process things differently. That's very different than what our culture is saying. Very different than what people even believe. It's, well, we're just all the same. And we, obviously our bodies are a little bit different, but we think the same. Well, that's not entirely true because our wiring is different. And so let me dive in with you first of all, Rachel. When you are feeling disconnected from me, and oftentimes it can look messy. And if it's not, or if we didn't communicate well, I might go into retreat mode. I might go, and a lot of men tend to do that. They disconnect, they go the other way. What is a woman most feeling? What is going through her heart and mind when her husband is disconnecting from her?
Yeah, it's such a place of pain and it's such a place of hurt. And I don't know how many of you women can relate to the feeling of being ugly, the feeling of being unloved, the feeling of being not pursued, the feeling of, why is he just vegging out in front of the TV again? Why does he have his phone in his hand all the time? Why will he not talk to me? Why will he not give me more than 2 grunts and a word when he answers, the phone or comes home from work or whatever? A woman feels like she's not enough. She feels like she's unlovable. And that's when a woman feels unloved and unlovable. That's when, we joke about it in our house, that's when the broomstick can come out, right? It's like, we joke around, it's like, don't make me ride around on my broomstick today, I don't want to act like a witch, okay? I don't want to be that one. But when a woman is spurned or burned or not loved or not pursued the way a husband's heart should, she can be vicious, she can be mean, and she can think, why don't you love me? Why am I not enough for you? And it can be heart-wrenching and it can be awful. And that's when these wounds and these seeds of discontentment and bitterness can really take root and begin to grow. And then the snide comments and the disrespectful remarks can come, and she can just, give her husband the cold shoulder and say no to sex and say no to other things. And it can just lead to such a rift in their hearts every single time.
Yeah.
Are you crying?
I wasn't prepared for that. Yeah. Because
I love your heart.
I wasn't prepared for that. So everybody watching, just to know that that's where you felt, and that instead of coming close, went the other way, is not what you needed. And it's heartbreaking to hear it now.
But you did it because
right.
of self-protection.
Right.
And because of my fangs and claws coming out. And it was a vicious cycle. And maybe many of you have found yourself in that very cycle where a husband is withdrawing and disconnecting. The woman is now trying to push buttons, trying to get something out of her husband, get a rise, but she's feeling so unloved and so unpursued.
Until I cry on the live video for you, then maybe that'll help me out.
Are you crying?
Yeah, maybe I get to win today.
You win. Yeah, we always have a joke. Whoever cries first wins.
And so let me just turn it around a little bit and think about from a man's perspective when he's feeling disconnected. And you don't have to cry, by the way. When he's feeling disconnected from his wife, he's thinking oftentimes like, I don't even want much. I just don't want to be attacked. I just don't want to fight. I just want a little appreciation for the hard work I've put in today. I just want to be recognized that not only that I went to work today, but that I'm working hard to be the dad I need to be, that I'm investing in the kids, that I'm working hard around the house, that I make a difference, that I matter, that I'm lovable. And when a man's not hearing that, he doesn't need to hear it from his mom. He doesn't need to hear it from his friends. He needs to hear it from his spouse more than anywhere else.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry I wasn't there for you back in the day. Oh, I love that your heart is awakened now, because for so many years it was numb. But here's the thing. When a man is feeling that way, this is when men, let me pay attention. I want you to please pay attention. If you are in this danger zone, you are wide open for attack, and you are wide open for an emotional affair. This is in the moment of weakness when you are not getting those words from your wife, where you are going to be more likely to send the inappropriate picture, to linger too long at the watering station at work, to look too long at that young woman who is paying attention to you and saying nice things and being affirming of you. And it's when your heart, oh boy, the enemy, ooh, he's so clever. He's so clever to make sin look enticing, to make someone else look more appealing. And you are in grave danger if you are in this position, and you are putting yourself in this position. And this is our warning to you. You are wide open for either an emotional affair, which can be devastating to a marriage, or complete infidelity, a sexual affair.
Yeah, you're so right. And obviously
and it goes both ways.
Pornography, which male and female pornography and what they like is different. The many books that are out there and the soft porn movies for women, especially. This is the heart of it. When you get to the place where your spouse is not giving to you what you need, and you're not communicating that, and you guys are disconnected, that's where honorable people start to do dishonorable things. That's when honorable people start to think the unthinkable. They start to believe and think, well, maybe this wasn't even a real marriage to begin with. All kinds of lies can creep in. Like, maybe she never really loved me. She doesn't appreciate me. And that is one of the main reasons that they found that women cheat on, or men that cheat on their wives, is actually for emotional connection. If they're not getting emotionally connected here, they often will look other places. But here's the thing. When we do those things, we can see it in other people. Like, how dare they cheat on their spouse, or how dare they do this or that? It's very different when you're walking in those shoes, and you can begin to justify in your own mind your own dishonorable things, dishonorable actions, dishonorable thoughts. And it creeps in. It doesn't just happen like that. It's like, well, what's a little bit of porn? What's a little bit of entertaining the flirtatious actions? What's a little bit of in my mind thinking about what it would be like with somebody else?
Yeah. A little bit of too many text messages or instant messenger or, Instagram messages. Right. And so guys, if you don't deal with the heart of the issue, which is the connection, it will lead to, at a minimum, putting yourself in grave danger of infidelity of some sort. But the other thing that you're in grave danger of is very dysfunctional coping mechanisms where, we start drinking, we start smoking, we start numbing, we start turning to something to numb the pain, right? It's like, I just don't want to hurt anymore. I'm so tired of how this marriage feels right now, and I need to relieve the pain. And when you do that, it opens up a whole new can of worms of now we have new problems, right? Because of how we're coping.
You're so right. And when you get to that place where you are thinking about, I don't want much. I bet you men and women are both thinking that. Like men are thinking, I don't want much from her right now. It's quite simple.
Mm-hmm.
And a woman is thinking the same thing. I want something very simple. I just want to be loved. That's all. And
just want to be pursued.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, if you're not getting that, then it's like, then the walls go up, because it's like, it feels like they don't want to give to you what you need. And when you get to that place, that's where vicious cycles really get deeply rooted, where those ruts are really deeply become real. And you get to the place where when you say, I don't want much, and they're not giving it to you, then you get to a place of like frustration, and then it moves to disdain, where it's like the other person, like I out of self-protection, you're like, well, I don't even need you anyways. Mm-hmm. And that's the recipe for disaster. And that's why we open up ourselves to all kinds of dangers. Yeah. And I think that's really important to point out. All of the root cause here, friends, is you did not understand what your spouse needed. And so we hope today serves for you to understand what your spouse needs. But many of you out there are going to be hearing this, and you're going to be realizing, okay, I get it, but so much hurt has happened and the ruts are so deep. Like, now that I know this, I don't know how to untangle this. I don't know how to get out of this. What would you say to them, Rach?
I would say, instead of pulling away, or instead of getting your claws out and attacking, this is where you want to come alongside. This is where you want to try to connect. This is where you want to let go of your defensiveness and your own hurts and see where the other person is at. And guys, if there's been piled up hurts and disconnection for a long time, and you're in that danger zone, or you're in the midst of the danger zone and you found yourself already there, you're going to need some help. We offer ourselves to do a breakthrough call with you. It's a complimentary call where we can really dive in and get to the heart of what's not working in your marriage, and really help you create a strategy and a pathway out of the pain. Because look, guys, at the end of the day, if we don't deal with the pain, if we don't deal with the root, the disconnect, we don't deal with the issue of feeling unloved, unwanted, unappreciated, unhonored, the rift grows deeper, the divide grows deeper, the disconnect grows further, and the danger zone is more imminent. And so please reach out, book that breakthrough call at turnaroundmarriage.com/call. We'll get on a call. We will love you. We will serve you. We will get you to the root, and we will offer you a strategy out. So whatever that will look like for you. Yeah. Guys, don't wait. Don't wait until it's too late. We talk to people every single day where they've let the honorable people who have let themselves get to that dishonorable place. And sometimes it feels like it's too late. If you are in that place where you feel like it's too late, there is still hope. We have seen marriages turn around at the very brink, at the very edge of divorce. And at a minimum, like, let's figure out how to stop this once and for all, how to stop going into these vicious cycles. Let's figure out how to help you find the healing that you need, so that we don't repeat the same mistakes again. So again, you can go to turnaroundmarriage.com/call. This is for people who are decisive and committed, people who are honorable, who may have found themselves doing dishonorable things, but they want a path out. They want to fix their marriage. They want to learn how to connect and stop these unhealthy, dysfunctional patterns. So if that's you, book that call, and we'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.